Hey guys, welcome to the channel Before You Call a Contractor. I'm Andy. Today's video, we're going to be replacing the doorknob and a deadbolt, and going to be installing quick-set smart key ones, and when we're done installing, I'm going to show you how to rekey them. So the only tools you really need for this is a Phillips head screwdriver, an Allen key, and actually the quick-set ones come with the Allen keys, so you don't have to have those. And you don't really need a drill, but I'm probably going to use mine. But if you don't have a drill, you can do doorknobs without a drill. We're going to start by removing the old doorknob. All we're going to do is on the inside, back out the two screws. Got to go in on an angle with the screwdriver and find the screw head. And once the screws are already back out, the doorknob just comes out. Now, sometimes the exterior one or the one with the lock won't come out. If you just push in on the latch, it'll come right out. Now we're going to remove the latch. This is what I will use my drill on. But all we have to do is install the new one. Now, the rounded side of this will always go towards the door frame. So when you put it back in, if you don't remember how the other one came out, if that's facing towards the door frame, that's the right way. All right, then for our latch, they come in this box like this. Just pull it apart, put this one in first, get lined up. And get this one, you might have to twist the lock. If it's an exterior one, it has a lock, or maybe if it's a bedroom door, it has a lock, you might have to twist it, but if not, then this kit is going to, if we're doing one with the deadbolt, it's going to come with two different size screws. The bigger screws are going to be for the deadbolt. The smaller ones will be for the doorknob. Just get them in here, and I usually like to try to get them, the feel and just get them snugged up with my fingers, get them lined up. If I can get my fingers in there. And once they're lined up, you just tighten them up with the screwdriver. It helps sometimes to lift up on it a little bit and make sure it's straight going on there, because they will get a little off key on you if you don't hold them up. Once it's tight, make sure it works. Now what we got to do is replace our strike plate. Back this out. And I will tell you, pay attention to where your strike plate is, because they're not always in the exact same spot. But whoever installed the previous doorknob might have had to move it to get it. And sometimes you got to pry these off a little bit. Not too bad. Then put on the new one. So let's get a screw and put it in. You go right in the same screw hole, so I know it's in the right spot. Now what we gotta do is check and make sure our door works. So let's see. It closes and it latches. So that works. Now we're gonna move on to our deadbolt. Now, one of the things about deadbolts is they have to actually be locked out in order to get to both screws. And like the doorknob, once you have them both all the way unscrewed, it will just come out. Just like that. Again, remove the latch. And we'll install the new one. Now, depending on the depth of your door, these can actually turn to make them deeper. So you have to check the depth of your door to make sure it's in the right spot. Mine needs to be in the shallow, but if yours is deeper, you'll have to turn it like that. And if you look on here, there'll be a little thing that says up. That tells you which direction it should face. Now for this, you got to put the outside in first. Make sure you get it in the right position. You'll have to probably turn this. You have to go through the hole in here and line it up. You'll have to hold that one in place. Then, to know which way this goes, the lock thing is going to go at the top. Now I've got this blind on this door, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get it lined up. Get that blind, there we go. Now these are the longer screws I was talking about. So again, you got to move your lock into the out position so you can get your screws in. And this is going to be a matter of just trying to make sure your outside lock is straight up and down and your inside is level. And that's the easiest way to try to find the screw holes. This is probably the hardest part about doing the whole thing. Probably because I didn't have the lock thing in the up position. There it is, went right in. And sometimes you got to wiggle them around to get them to line up just right. You don't want to force them. You want the screws to go in fairly easy. And then once you have it snug, make sure it works good. The latch is working the way it should. And then you can snug it up. But you don't have to go crazy tight on it. It's probably good enough. All right. From there, now we just got to change our strike plate. Now, depending on the strike plate you have, they may have 4 screws, they might have 2 screws. This one has a spot for 4. And my new strike plate only has a spot for 2. And this is the length screw it came with. These are the screws that came out of the old one. I'm going to use the old screws. The idea is for these screws to be long enough to catch the stud behind the door frame for security reasons, obviously. Now, doing this part definitely makes it easier if you have a drill. All right, let's make sure it works. All right, so we close the door and deadbolt works. I'm going to show you one more thing. See how these handles are like this? They're kind of like they swoop down. The rest of the handles in my house swoop up. But I can fix that. And I'll show you how we fix it. The handles on these are actually reversible. That's what the Allen key is for. There's a hole right here. You go in there, you loosen it up. And the door handle slides off. You go to the outside and you do the exact same thing. Now, when I put this handle on the inside, turn it over, now it's going the same way as my other ones in my house, and that's the way I like them. Now, there's nothing wrong with them being the other. If you prefer them the other way, there's nothing wrong with that. This is just how I put mine in my house. They still work just fine. Either way. Just like that, our door handles are being installed. All right, now I'm going to show you how the quick set smart key works. You take the keys that came with the lock, you put it in, and you turn it 90 degrees. It comes with this little tool here that looks like this. You take this, and there's a little tiny slot just above the key, and you put this in there. You hold that in there, and you pull the key out. Then you take the key that you want to be in there and you put in it. And you pull this tool out. And that's the key that works it. If you try to use the original key that came with it, it won't work. We're going to do the same thing for the bottom one here. Put it in, turn it 90 degrees. Slide the key tool in, remove the key. Install the one you want. Remove this, turn it back. And that's it, guys. It's that easy. That's why I like these quick set smart keys, because you can rekey them yourself. And then, for instance, let's say somebody in your household loses their key. And you're like, we have a key out there. If you have this, you can literally go through, you can take another key and rekey all of your locks yourself. You don't have to call a locksmith to do it. Save you a lot of money doing that. So anyway, I hope you guys find this video useful and have a great day. Appreciate you watching.